Brandon Moreno managed to smash out Amir Albazi last night, and it was a really good showing from Brandon Moreno. That said, is Amir Albazi a fraud? Is he fraudulent? Is he what we thought? And is Brandon Moreno what we think he is again? We're going to be talking about all of that today and more for UFC Edmonton. But first, in the comments, let me know, Tyra, Royval, Almabayev, who does Brandon Moreno fight next? He's got plenty of options. It's not going to be Pantoja. It's not going to be anybody that wants for losing streak. But is Brandon Moreno back? That's the big question. He seems like he was back, and I'm not so sure. Okay, so Brandon Moreno, I love. I think he's such a fun fighter. He brings that Mexican spirit to him. He just brings a fun fight every single time he fights. Every single time Brandon Moreno fights, it's a blast. Now, before we get into this episode, consider signing up to the Substack. You get exclusive articles and videos just for you. It's something I do as a little thank you for you supporting the channel, and I love the ones and everybody else that already does it. So it is just so much fun. I mean, think about the Fort Figueredo fights. The Royval fight was fun. The Pantoja fights are fun. He's always in interesting fights. He has great skills. He's so well-rounded. You know, he's great on the ground. Obviously, we know his hands are great. But yeah, the whole high guard and stuff, he works fantastic from there. He really does. But you have to be honest with yourself. You have to tell yourself, like, is Brandon Moreno back? And I don't know. I'm not so sure. So shout out to Finyo from Fight Site. Fight Site Presents. He did a live companion on this. I wasn't able to. He talked about how he thought, Moreno's footwork and all of that stuff, he really struggled with. He was overcommitting on a bunch of punches and all that. He was terrified of the takedown. Absolutely terrified, despite being such a good scrambler. I find Brandon Moreno to be a fun scrambler. He was scared of all that from Amir Albazi, somebody he beat up for 5 rounds. Think about that for a second. So is Brandon Moreno back? Is he a legitimate threat to Alexandre Pantoja and the flyweight throne? I don't think so. See, we're going to talk about this in a minute, but I don't hold Amir Albazi in that high of a regard. I don't think his win over Kai Kara-France was as good as everybody thought it was. I didn't even think he beat Kai Kara-France. So are we going to be able to say, is Amir Albazi a good enough to win to claim Brandon Moreno is back? Absolutely not. I can't buy that. I can't buy it at all. So no, we can't say off of this that Brandon Moreno is back. He had, his striking's fantastic. We're going to talk about that for a second here. His striking is great. His jab is great. He does a weird jab where he kind of throws it up like that with his elbow high. But other than that, I really can't complain about his jab. He used it well against Albazi, who seemingly didn't know what to do with the striking and the footwork. Now, it was black magic footwork from Brandon Moreno in the eyes of Amir Albazi, right? Albazi's like, I don't know what to do here. Moreno's coming in, exiting at an angle, this kind of stuff. Now, Moreno's falling and tripping over himself every single time Albazi even looked like he was going to shoot. He was terrified of the takedown. He did not want to be taken down. But what I really learned from Brandon Moreno here is that his boxing really is on another level, and Amir Albazi is not. He's a good fighter, but he's not great. My problem with Brandon Moreno, though, is the fact that he's 32. Let me double check myself on that, but I believe Brandon Moreno is like 32 years old. Yeah, he's 30. Okay, never mind. But still, as a flyweight, that's pretty old, guys. That's pretty old as a flyweight. I think it was Albazi that was 32. His footwork was messy. It was all over the place. So, you got good reason to say, no, let's pump the brakes a little bit here on the Brandon Moreno hype train. This opponent was somebody that he could do well against. And that's exactly what Amir Albazi was. Despite an 8-month layoff from Brandon Moreno, this was the type of fight where he could look, fantastic. And he did. He looked great. He has a lot of people fooled, thinking, oh, Brandon Moreno's back. But he did look like he lost a step. He's a little bit slower. He's not much slower for sure. I wasn't so pessimistic on the performance as other people were. But I really do respect what Finyo from Fight Site says. He knows what he's talking about, and he's right. upon further review, footwork wasn't all that great. He kind of found himself in bad spots at times. He didn't follow up on strikes. That's another thing that he pointed out. Like, he had Amir Albazi hurt. Brandon Moreno had Amir Albazi hurt several times in this fight, and he didn't press the pace. He didn't put his foot on the gas. And I said that was PTSD from Davis and Figueiredo, which obviously, Figueiredo can hurt you at any time. So it's like, you got to be careful with him. So yeah, shout out Fight Site. Go check out that YouTube channel. It's a great channel. But yeah, as far as him fighting, Royval or Pantoja again, Royval, I can see. I think Royval beats him this time and even worse. Pantoja, he's 0-2 against Pantoja, so there's no need for that. Like, he's gonna have to knock off several contenders. That's why I suggested Tatsuro Taira and Asu Amabayev. Like, I was like, man, he should fight Steve Erceg. That'd be a fun fight. But Erceg's on 2-fight losing streak now to Kai Kara-France and Pantoja from that title fight. You got Kai Asakura coming in, which is a good fight. But he might win the title from Pantoja, which I doubt, honestly. I think Pantoja takes that. But, what's next for him? The options are limited. We could rematch Kai Kara-France. Kai's not going to take that fight. He knows he's in line for a title shot. So, yeah, great. I think he's on the right track. I don't think he's back, per se, but I think he's a fun fighter, and I think we can still have a few more good fights out of him. Was Amir Albazi ever elite? That's the real question. Was Amir Albazi elite or not elite? That is the question. I don't know why I said it in that accent. To be or not to be, that's the question. If you didn't catch that reference, guys, come on. But was Amir Albazi ever elite? So, he's coming off of this win. So, I'll tell you this. Let's hop over to the web here and take a look at Amir Albazi. So, we got Brandon Moreno right here. Let's get out of that. Was he ever elite? So, a lot of people are hanging their hat on this Kai Kara-France win. Yeah, see, he's 31, about to be 32, or he just turned 31. So, nobody was 32. I don't know what I'm talking about. But if you look, he's had some good wins since coming in the UFC, and I really like this portion right here, his Brave experience. These guys from Brave come in, they're ready to fight. But after his debut, he choked out Malcolm Gordon. You look, Zalmagulov, which is an okay win. Is Zalmagulov any good? I don't remember. No, not good at all. So yeah, you got the Zalmagulov win with this decision. Figueiredo, the Francisco Figueiredo, Davis and Figueiredo's brother, first round rear naked choke. Alexandro Costa, an uppercut to ground and pound. And then the Kai Kara-France split decision. So a lot of what we thought about him was kind of like, maybe. It would have been cool to see him fight Perez or Brendan Royval back in 2022. But, the Kai Kara-France win is really kind of sus. Maybe he didn't win that fight. It was a split decision. I felt like Kai Kara-France won. I'm not going to tell you which rounds he won or anything like that, but the general feeling of the fight was that Kai Kara-France won that fight. But Amir Albazi gets all of the credit in the world because he beat Kai Kara-France, on paper at least. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, is beating somebody on paper. So he got the win over Kai Kara-France. This was his opportunity to step up and be like, hey, I'm the next in line. I just beat Moreno. You've already got wins over Royval. He couldn't do it. He stood there like a punching bag. He had no idea how to get to the fight to the ground. It drove me nuts. You got to go for it. And, Moreno was terrified. Let's go back to the web real quick. I've actually got UFC stats pulled up. He managed to get a takedown, 1 of 4. Right, let's go per round. He got the one in the first round that gave him 2 seconds of control time. And that's it. I don't understand how he got 7 in the last round. Maybe Moreno ended up with the Rolling Thunder. But he got 2 seconds of control time off his one takedown in round 2. No takedowns attempted in 1. 1 in 3. None in round 4, which was arguably the round he won. And then the 2 takedown attempts in round 5 where he knew he had to get on the gas and get going. So, what's the end goal here for Amir Albazi? 31 years old as a flyweight is not a good sign. He's going to be around, and he was off for a long time due to an injury. I believe it was, a neck injury? I don't think he has what it takes. He's at the back of the line now. 30 years old, back of the line. That's terrible for his career. This was his opportunity, and that's the thing. You got to seize your opportunity. When you have your opportunity there, you got to go out and get it. So, opportunity comes knocking. Aaron Blanchfield answers, and Rose Namajunas just leaves the door shut. Nobody loses a fight like they should not lose. Let me start that over. Nobody loses a fight they shouldn't like Rose Namajunas. Gah! She was dominating Aaron Blanchfield the first 2 rounds. Dominating. Aaron Blanchfield had no idea what to do with the striking and the footwork of Rose Namajunas. You know, Rose is... I was thinking to myself during this fight, I was like, man, Rose Namajunas really is like one of the best female fighters of all time. And then I remember, no, she's not. A lot of people will tell you like, oh, you know, she's great. She just lost a couple of fights. But my thought on that is, like, the whole purpose of the fights, the whole purpose of fights is to win. And if you can't go out there and win the fights that you need to win, and win the fights that you should win, if you can't go there and execute, like you lose to Aaron Blanchfield, or I'm not gonna say she should have lost to Manon Fiorot, or you lose to Carla Esparza because you didn't do anything, or you didn't let go of a Kimura against Jessica Andrade, or you don't know how to defend takedowns against Esparza the first time, or the Karolina Kovacevic loss. She lost all those fights because of her. She's brain dead. She really is brain dead. Like, Aaron Blanchfield should not have won this fight. But she went out there, was tough, and did win the fight. So, you know, credit to her. She got out and did what she was supposed to do. She did her job. But Rose Namajunas didn't. Like, she came out, she got taken down. Let's go back over to the web real quick, guys. Let's see when that takedown happened, because, you know, Blanchfield got 2 of 8 takedowns with 8 minutes and 54 seconds of... Oh, I remember now. Rose Namajunas shot a takedown in rounds, what was it, 2 or 1? And got counter. It was like a wizard counter or something like that. And Rose Namajunas just ended up on bottom. And I knew it was going to be really bad when Rose Namajunas was on bottom and she wasn't trying to get up. She wasn't trying to scoot to the fence. She wasn't trying to get to the hips with her feet. She wasn't doing anything. She was locking down Aaron Blanchfield like, we're just going to ride this out. I'm not going to take too much, you know, damage, and we'll reset the next round, you know. And then Aaron Blanchfield comes out and Rose is like, I'm tired. My confidence is shot, because Rose has confidence problems. Don't let anybody tell you anything otherwise. You can clearly tell her confidence is, you know. And when you break Rose Namajunas' confidence, she just drops the ball. She's terrified to wrestle. I think the first Esparza fight, where she got taken down and choked out, I think that really bothers her. Still. And that was a long time ago. That was a very long time ago. When was that? 2014, 10 years ago. And I think that still looms heavy in her head. Horrible performance from Rose. Aaron Blanchfield's striking. Let's shift gears a little bit here. Her striking was terrible. She has no idea how to box her way into a takedown. Everybody talks about how hard of a worker she is. She has to show it to me, okay? Aaron Blanchfield's been the same exact fighter she's been since she got into the UFC. The same fighter. Like, if you watch Aaron Blanchfield's debut to Rose Namajunas, she has the same weaknesses, she has the same tendencies, the same entries. If she can't get you to the fence, if you decide to circle out, or if you stuff the first takedown, she's dead in the water. Her striking's pitiful. Horrible. Does she get a title shot off of this? You know, this was a highly ranked fight. I think she made the right call out, though, of Alexa Grasso because we think Manon Fiorot is getting the title shot against Valentina Shevchenko. So if she can fight, because like Manon Fiorot, let me rewind for a second there. Manon Fiorot beat Erin Blanchfield, handed her what? Her first career loss, her second career loss? Yeah, she's 13-2. Unanimous decision, and like Fiorot beat her. That's even a more intriguing matchup than Erin Blanchfield versus Valentina Shevchenko. Like, yeah. So no, she doesn't get a title shot. She doesn't get a title shot whatsoever, because that fight, yeah, Rose, she was good. She was on a good little streak, but you know, yeah. Anyways, what else was on this card? Let's go through this real quick here. Brinston Ribeiro beat Cal Machado. Okay. Jasmine Jasudavicius beat Ariane Lipski da Silva. Ariane Lipski. I like Jasmine a lot. She's got a really good ground game. She's a really good takedown artist. Ground and pound's good. And obviously, she's got a good Darce choke. Dustin Stolfus knocked out Marc-Andre Barry out in front of his home crowd. The two guys just met in the middle, started bang, 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 banging it out, and it was Dustin Stolfus that landed. Mike Malott decided he was an actual good fighter. Beat Trevin Giles. Now, Trevin Giles' jab looked really good and was giving Mike Malott problems, but Malott realized, or Malott always uses his kicks. That front kick to the face really kept Trevin Giles at bay. He's like, hey, I'm going to flash this into your face. Don't come after me. And he didn't. Ayman Zahabi beat Pedro Munoz, unanimous decision. Charles Jourdain in his 135 debut guillotined Victor Henry. That's not what I saw coming. I thought Jourdain would, crawl over. So he's like, he's coming down, and Victor Henry is coming up, or Victor Henry is, that weight. And anyways, Victor Henry's good. He puts out a lot of volume, and Charles Jourdain looked really good. And then my favorite fight of the night, my boy Youssef Zalal. He's back. Boom, boom, boom. He's ready, baby. He beat Jack Shore. A winnable fight. Jack Shore is so good too. You want to put the kickboxer against the wrestler, so we put him against Jack Shore. Are you ready? And it's crazy because Youssef Zalal is a Moroccan guy. He's a kickboxer, but he's now tied with Shavkat Rakhmonov for the most consecutive submissions with 3 in a row. This is the guy that in his first stint in the UFC went the distance with Ilia Topuria. Now, we know how good Ilia Topuria is. Youssef Zalal is getting better, too. He's got some really good hands already. We know that. But his ground game is scary good. I like Youssef Zalal. I did a big write-up. I unlocked it for everybody on the Substack. Again, sign up. $5 a month. We're doing a video on Youssef Zalal's fight with Shore this week, too. $5 a month. Sign up. But I like Youssef Zalal a lot. Now, he knocked him out, sure, but what I really liked was his kick, and I liked his jab. Yeah, he managed to keep Jack Shore kind of guessing, and obviously he would go in for the knee, and he showed Jack Shore 2 knees. Like, he would go one knee on the right, the rear step up, and he'd come down with the right knee in the front, and then the left knee, rear step up. So that kept Jack Shore from shooting. And then when Jack Shore did get him to the ground, he did a good job of getting to the fence, wall walking up, and turning away, putting his head into the fence at times, leaning against the fence, fighting the hands, and circling out on Jack Shore. Great performance from him. He really did show out and was like, hey, I am who I am. I really liked what he showed here. And then, obviously, the knockout. We know Jack Shore's shooting. We know he's shooting shots. So can we stop him? How do you stop him? You knee him. So, like Alex Pereira with Mikel Elias, or however you say his name. He throws a flying knee and knocks him out because he was shooting takedowns in Pereira's second pro fight. Or second UFC fight, not pro fight. He threw that, and he comes up with the right knee and just flatlines him and then sinks in a Darce choke. Youssef Zalal's a problem. Now, somebody on Twitter, I forgot who it was, and I'm sorry for forgetting you. Youssef Zalal versus Barboza or Dan Ige. I like the Barboza fight a lot. I like that a lot. We get to see, will Youssef Zalal go to the ground if he needs to? Because I feel like Barboza would beat him standing up. can Youssef Zalal handle that? And can he get to the allergy of wrestling that Edson Barboza has? So, great win by Zalal. I was incredibly happy with what he brought to the table. What else? Alexander Romanov went to decision with Rodrigo Nascimento. Really cool. CD beat Garrett Armfield, and everybody thought that was a robbery. Second week in a row we've had a robbery. Cody Gibson beat Chad Angler. And then Jamie Lynn Haworth defeated Ivana Petrovic in the opening of the card. So, yeah, everybody says it was a terrible card. I was fairly entertained. I didn't think it was terrible. We had a couple fights that were but like the Youssef Zalal fight, Brandon Moreno was fun. And then as a self-proclaimed Rose Namajunas hater, I was happy to see her lose. So, don't hate me for that, guys. I don't like Rose. Just not my type of person or fighter. So look, guys, Fight Finders 5 is coming, and I can't be more excited for it. We're going to Gamebred FC Bare Knuckle MMA. We're following Brandon Davis around an American top team in D'Iberville, Mississippi, and we're seeing what his training's like and what fight night's like. So catch up. Fight Finders 4 is already out. Fight Finders 3, 2, and 1 is already out. Playlist is there. But go watch the last one. It's fantastic, and you guys would love it.